Good morning, professor and classmate. Today we are going to give you the main points about what is literature review. Atencio Yuval, Crisia Gaitan, and myself, Sheila Moreno, will explain it we are going to give you a brief explanation. A literature review is an overview of what was published before about the topic that we are going to do our research. Here we are going to make a summary, that is a recapitulation of the information, and we are going to synthesize, that we are going to reorganize the information. Here we take into consideration previous information, we identify gaps, the study significance, and position it within existing research. Here we have experts' contributions such as Mahoney and Goertz that characterize quantitative and qualitative research tradition as distinct cultures, because we know that we are not going to talk about the same because they are so different. And here I have Chen, that he evaluates the use of quantitative research to enhance leisure activities, because we know that in all the fields there are leisure activities that we want to do better with them. So thank you. Right now my classmate is going to continue with the presentation.
Hello professor, my name is Crisia Gaitan and I'm going to talk about some point of view according to some authors in literature review. Ali and Sayom observed the weakness of an investigation from the point of view of data analysis and hypothesis testing. Sukamuson present important concepts of quantitative research like assumptions, advantages, and common mistakes. Pamela present strengths and weakness of qualitative research and how this can be solved with the quantitative research. According to Shidor, he studied the advantages, disadvantages, and ethical issues of both researchers in testing and evaluation, and he said and conclude that quantitative research is dominant in testing and evaluation. Queiroz, Faria, and Alameda analyze strengths and limitations of both research to obtain different reliable and accurate measurements. And Daniel discusses the advantages, disadvantages of weakness of both methods and express that both research can solve problem. And Susana and her co-author present a manual for the analysis of the descriptive and quantitative research. Thank you.
Good evening, Professor. Leadership style and job satisfaction. There is a clear boost when there is some leadership in some workplaces versus when it's not. Correlational and service study. With correlational studies, we can see some patterns or relationship between variables, and with service studies, we gather information or insight about those variables. About cross-sectional studies, we can say they are effective for short-term studies, but if we want a more in-depth study, we use longitudinal and study because it is more complex and it takes a lot of time, but we can see some variables and some change with cohort studies. We can study some specific subjects or patterns. With trend and quasi-experimental, with trend, as the word says, we study the change over time of the subjects or some attitudes. This work for social studies. About quasi-experimental studies, we can say that the researcher control only some variables but not all of them. So he has to deliver, he has to do the research or study even when some variables are not controlled. Evaluation methods like qualitative and quantitative research, we can use them depending on their study goals or the research goals. And with systematic reviews, we can use it to summarize large amounts of information to reduce bias. Thanks for your attention, Professor.